Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on Framework for Financial Planning and Retirement Success. I'm Yogis Prasad and I'll be guiding you through this session. Today we will be covering several areas. First, financial planning, setting goals for our money, then capital management, making the most of our resources. Next, we will discuss a framework for building a solid structure for our plans. After that, we will see a hypothetical asset allocations for different risk profiles. We will also discuss implementation, how we put our plans into action. And finally, we will have a Q&A session for any questions you may have. So let's get started. There are few of the most frequently answered questions by financial advisors. Questions like, do I have enough savings? Or, I don't understand financial markets and I don't know how to invest, nor I don't know if I need to take risks. The questions that concerns the most to a pre-retiree or at retirement clients are, will I outlive my assets if I live longer than expected? What will be the sources of my income post-retirement? Would that be enough? We will try to discuss a framework to address these concerns today. When it comes to capital management, we default to only one type of capital, that is, financial capital. Let's look at another type of capital that makes up the total capital of an individual and requires a balance for a successful financial future. Human capital refers to the knowledge, skills, experience, and abilities possessed by individual. It represents the economic value of one's skills, education, and experience. These traits are intangible in many cases and usually are transferred into a tangible source of income. On the other hand, the most common capital is financial capital, which refers to the sum of value of an individual's assets, including finances, savings, investment, and properties. It also includes investment in businesses, partnerships, etc. So the goal here is to balance the two capital for long-term financial success. And to illustrate this, let's look at an example. Mike is a senior software engineer in a large technology firm. He has been buying technology stocks for a few years now. He is north of 70% allocation to technology stocks and technology sector. Let's say there is a tech bubble, burst just like the one we had in 1999-2000. Mike did not realize that he had a concentration risk of his human and financial capital in technology sector. During the burst, the technology stocks lost almost 70% of their value in short amount of time. And about 50% of the workforce in technology sector was laid off. So unfortunately, Mike lost his job as well as all of his portfolio gains. So this is why looking at your financial and human capital holistically and from a total risk perspective is a crucial step to set yourself for a wealthy retirement. But we have to understand that every client situation is different. Every households have different short-term and long-term financial needs and goals. So we cannot generalize or have a universal template for financial plans. It is not a one-size-fits-all product. But I will try to explain a framework that should enable you to evaluate your situation and come up with some assessment on where you stand in terms of finances. Two of the most important factors that drives our investment decisions are time horizon and risk tolerances. Time horizon is the time period for you to meet your financial goals. For instance, for a young family planning for a college fund for their 2-year-old has a time horizon of 16 to 17 years, whereas the 80-year-old post-retiree looking to live off retirement income could have a relatively shorter time horizon. Next is risk tolerance. The time horizon determines the risk tolerance. The longer is your time horizon, higher will be your risk tolerance given everything else remains unchanged. Longer time horizon enables your financial assets to compound growth and recover from any big losses along the process. So with that in mind, let's map out the financial planning phases. The first one is wealth creation phase. Sits on the right and top of the line at the cross section of long time horizon and high risk tolerance. What is a risk return profile of an investor in this phase? Let's take a look. The investors are younger, early in their career, have a long time horizon, and high risk appetite. And what they want in their portfolio is growth, compounding of growth. Next phase is wealth accumulation phase. So the mid to pre-retirement phase, mid-high income level, investors in this phase may have started a family already, has 10 to 20 years of time horizon until retirement, and they have a moderate risk appetite. The investor in this phase seeks growth and a little bit of income in this portfolio. So the next one is wealth preservation phase. The investors in this bucket are pre-retirees or in at retirement. Their risk tolerances are low and time horizon is 5 to 10 years, is when they need to generate income from their portfolio assets. They seek stable income from the portfolio post-retirement and preserve the capital they have accumulated so far. And this brings us to the last type of investor bucket, which is wealth distribution phase. So, so if you have planned your retirement well in the last 20 to 30 years of your work life, your plan should start to pay off in this phase. Investors in this phase are retired, dependent on the income from their financial assets. Their risk appetite is very low as the time horizon is short for them. The goal here is to generate income and maybe leave some assets as a legacy as per the need. So a well-crafted plan for each phase is the key to a successful financial future. I hope this gives everyone a framework on how to think about your financial planning and evaluate your current situation. Now, let's take a look at hypothetical asset allocation for each phase of the planning. How should one's portfolio look like based on where they are in the financial planning phase? So, for any investor in the wealth creation phase, that is, younger investors who have just started their income and have a long time horizon, should have allocations to equities, both US and international, IPOs, crypto assets, and some portion of cash for emergency needs. Now, for someone in wealth accumulation phase, should still be allocated to equities and IPOs, but could have some allocations to private equity and real estate as they purchase their primary residence and some other real estate investment properties. Large mid-cap and mega-cap blue-chip stocks replaces IPOs and private equities in preservation phase. Also note allocation to bond income and stability at this phase. Still have real estate as you may be at the end of paying off your mortgages. This is the phase you start planning for insurance needs, be it life, health, or assisted living. It's all about income at the distribution phase. You depend on your financial assets to generate income for your post retirement. You have bonds, treasuries, dividend paying stocks, and you still have some blue chip stocks to hedge your longevity risk and inflation. That you have annuities here for supplemented guaranteed income along with the social security. Every client is different and has different goals, and so will be their portfolio. But this gives you an idea on how portfolio risk and return profile changes along the way. We are almost at the end of the presentation, but before we go to the question and answer sessions, let's look at a few ways you could start your financial planning. Let's also evaluate the good and bad of each of the options we're going to see next. Here are a few ways you can start your plan. First is DIY investing. You can read books, watch videos, and try to do it yourself. Challenge is we all have mental biases and struggles to invest objectively. We have no risk management mechanism in DIY investing, and we end up holding losers longer than we should and selling winners sooner than we should. Next one is the latest trend called finfluencer. With the explosion of social media platform, everyone loves to give advice on what to buy and what not to buy. We have seen many investors coming to us with a portfolio of stock that they should not have invested in to begin with, given their risk profile, and they end up taking losses in their portfolio. Remember, finfluencers are not fiduciary, at least not all of them. They have many conflicts of interest. And more importantly, their objective is to gain followers for themselves and not make you money. The next one is a relatively new and widely adopted tool, which is robo-advisors. Robo-advisor gained popularity during pandemic, during COVID in 2019, 2020. It is a good tool for an investor who knows what they're doing and are self-disciplined in investing and risk management. But then you have to deal with the template model, one size fits all, hidden fees, and potential conflict of interest. The last one is the most robust one. Just like you go to a doctor for any surgery and not cut yourself at home, or go to a dentist for a toothache and not pull your tooth out, similarly, you go to a financial advisor for your financial future. Remember, you are working with your hard earned money, money that you need when you retire. So it is important that you are serious about how you manage it along the way. Plus, remember, financial advisors are a fiduciary, so they work only for the client and in their best interest. So with that, let me open the floor for questions and I'll try to answer as best as I can. In the meantime, I'll go through the chat window and try to answer questions the best I can. Here are four reasons. Thank you all for sending me so many questions. Just going through them right now. So Mike asked me a question on how often should I review and adjust my financial plan as I move through these phases? Very good questions, Mike. Anytime there's a material change in your human or financial capital, you need to review and rebalance your plan, such as you got an inheritance you were not expecting, or a promotion in your job, or suddenly need to get your roof fixed or buy a new car. That's a good time to review your portfolio and rebalance it. Another common question in the chat is, what are some common pitfalls to avoid during each phase of financial planning? Well, this is where you want to work with us because we are the ones who will keep you on track to your wealthy retirement. We have softwares that can adjust your plan in real time, do all kinds of scenario analysis and what if analysis, like what if interest rate goes up or down? What if I need $50,000 medical expenses at age 50? Do I have enough to buy a car for my kid? Or am I overfunding or underfunding my retirement? Questions like, I want to take another vacation. What it does to my plan? So questions like this can be answered using software, sophisticated software. Another good suggestion is don't neglect establishing financial goals. Do not take excessive risk. Always keep a check on your human and financial capital relationship. Review them, adjust them as and when necessary. With that, we have come to an end to our today's presentation. Thank you all for joining us today. Remember to stay connected with us by following us on Instagram, Facebook for more valuable insights and updates. We also invite you all to keep an eye out for upcoming webinars in the coming weeks. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.